Is it recording? Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So, we are back again with another game to review. This time, we are going to see my game from a tournament yesterday. So, yesterday was South Bay Go Tournament. Is that correct? South Bay Go Tournament. It's organized by Mountain View Go Club. And we had a lovely tournament at the Palo Alto Public Library. Had wonderful time, and yeah, it was a great tournament.
Yes, please come if you're in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's a wonderful venue. It's not too big. It's quiet, and there's great food nearby.
Yes. So we both played in our own divisions. And we had great results, right?
Yes, yes, both undefeated.
Yes. So Dan here played as a 5Q and he won all his games. And I also luckily won all my games.
Yay. And by the way, I'm not deliberately trying to sandbag or anything. It's just my AGA rating hasn't quite kept up with my online rating. So that's why I was playing at 5Q.
Right. You were not lowering your rank.
Right. I was actually that's actually higher than my AGA rating right now.
Okay, so the game we are going to see is my last game in the tournament. My opponent was 7-dan Go player who is also a developer. And because it's a handicap tournament, I gave him 1 handicap stone, which meant he took black and there was no komi. And I think that's a little unfortunate because I was a little curious to do some like AI analysis if I could. But then because there was no komi, it seems like that's not possible. Is that correct?
I'm actually not sure, but I'm a little concerned that the komi is sort of baked into the neural networks, so you won't get an accurate answer for a game where there's no komi.
Right. So anyway, let's see. I was white, and I'm going to show you. And feel free to ask questions.
Okay.
So let's go. I recorded the game from my perspective. So in general, you do want all game records to be black's perspective, but then my habit is that if I'm white, I just, do it as I remember.
Okay.
So this is the opening, and then
that looks very standard.
Approach it, and I did that. Yes. So over here at this point, I hesitated before playing here because I was also thinking about playing around here. And usually black would continue something like this. And then maybe I could kick here and then come around here. I think that's another possibility.
Wow.
I wasn't sure if it was good or bad. So these are kind of things that I was kind of curious to see what AI thinks.
Okay. In the lower right corner, so you said you were choosing between O3 and Tanuki. Would you consider one of the other kind of trendy things like P4?
Is P4 more trendy than O3?
I don't know. I just see those. Sometimes I've seen them in pro games. Sometimes I've seen them in my level. Even like O4. These different, O3 being like the classic textbook Joseki move, right?
So what textbook says is that if you have a white stones around here, let's say there are like white stones around here, and then you do want something like this because you are kind of growing, and playing on O3 can kind of limit the potential. So that's what textbook says, but then I think it is also possible to just continue with this one. There's nothing wrong with it. But I didn't consider this move at this point when I played. Oh, by the way, we had 45 minutes base time each, and then 30 seconds and 3 times Byomi. Right. So the actual game, I played here and black played here, and then I went here.
You pincer.
Right. So I was thinking about, came too far. So I was thinking about first taking the corner. I thought this was a good option since the corner is getting weak with black. Oh, coming to R11. I almost forgot that we didn't have the mouse cursor. Right. So with black on R11, my corner can become a little weaker. So that's why Q18 is a good option. And also it threatens more toward the O17 Blackstone. So black will probably respond and then I could continue on this corner.
Okay.
So I thought about this one. And then I also thought about the pincer options somewhere on 17 line. Somewhere between K and M, KLM.
Right.
And I couldn't decide which one was better. In the end, I decided on this one. The reason I chose this one was that I thought black would play here because that's the common continuation after pincer.
Okay.
So this was what I was kind of expecting. And then I thought I would do this. And then after this N18, if I'm on K line, it's kind of easier to approach and tenuki.
Nice.
Like easier than the case where my stone is on L or M, right?
Right.
And I really wanted to play here after getting Sente.
Right. Because if you let black get too many more moves on the left, it looks like black is going to lock down a lot of points there. And you've got two secure but small groups on the right side.
Yeah.
So you're going to have trouble catching up.
Right. So that was my hope.
Okay.
But then black played here instead.
Okay.
And when black played here, I thought black was planning to play here.
That seems cramped.
Yeah, it's more cramped than the Juseki.
Right.
But then since black exchanged with the Q18, I thought maybe that's what black's planning on.
Okay.
But black played here.
Okay.
So when I first saw this, I thought it was a little odd. But then later on, when black played on R18, actually it was really a pressure in my corner.
Right.
So I wonder if that was actually a really good move.
For black, you mean? Yeah, I mean that. I mean, I've seen this pattern in Q games.
I see.
Is it that white can play R18 now and be secure, but that's a very slow move. Is that right? And then if black gets that, white isn't quite alive. P14 stands out to me as the important shape point, right? But it looks like if
Wait, P14?
Yeah, is that
white?
For
okay.
white,
yes,
for
that's
white.
right. Yes.
But I worry that white stone on the top center is getting a little lonely, especially if black gets strength.
Right.
Yeah.
And also you should remember that I was kind of feeling a little busy when I was playing this opening because there was no komi.
Okay. Okay, so you need to...
But then maybe I shouldn't have. I think it was probably better if I was playing as if it was normal and I had the komi.
Yeah.
And then try to maybe catch up later.
Because one thing you told me about many of your games was you played at your own pace, and the opponents, they don't have pro experience, so they weren't reading quite as fast as you, and therefore, towards the end, they were all in Byoyomi, and you still had plenty of time left, and that's when they made mistakes that let you catch up. So with that knowledge, maybe I'd agree with that strategy of like...
Yeah. But that was the summary after all three games.
Okay, so at the time, you're still under pressure here. Okay.
Yes. So, just to share with you, my first round was against the 2-dan opponent, and I gave him 7 handicap stones. And then when he had 7 stones on the board, it just felt so impossible to win that game, right? And he's 2-dan, he's, very solid. So, but I did my best. And then what happened was that when he got into Byoyomi, he was kind of making more mistakes.
Yep.
And also similar thing happened on my second game against a 4-dan opponent. I gave him 4 handicap stones, and he was actually doing pretty well. But then as the game was getting more complicated, he was also in Byoyomi, and then eventually he lost some time because he couldn't keep up with it. So even if it was 30 seconds Byoyomi, I guess the time was really in my favor.
That's right. Yeah. It's so hard to count, especially if you need to do a whole board count and the clock is ticking on 30 seconds. That's rough.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, and so I was playing as if like I am behind because I was conscious about not having Komi.
Okay.
And actually, I think that led the game to like even worse situation. Anyway.
Worse for whom?
Me.
For you. Okay.
Right.
Okay. You were a little bit too aggressive and you got in trouble.
Right,
okay.
right, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you will see.
Okay, let's see. Yeah.
So after making this exchange on F17, I came to E3. I was very, very eager to play here. And then Black responded this way. And I was thinking about two options. One was playing around here.
Right.
And the other one was to go to the left side directly. And I think usually I would choose somewhere around G4 or like even H4 maybe. But then on this day when I was playing, I was like, oh, I need to do more.
Okay.
So I came here.
Yeah, so you're Tanuki from that 2-on-1 situation, which looks scary.
So what was happening was that I did manage to kind of fragment the board and then I limited Black's territory. But at the same time, I was getting kind of thin everywhere on the board.
So this next move, you attach?
Yes.
That seems unusual compared to taking a 1 or 2 space extension, right?
Yes, that was an exchange that I did. I'm not sure if it was a good exchange though. So Black responded this way and then I...
Okay, then you take the extension.
I took it, yes.
Huh. All right.
So I think normally Black continues with push like this. And then maybe exchange this one even. Then maybe Black could pincer around here. I was kind of expecting something like this. And then maybe I'll also try to save this one still on E3.
Yeah, that looks rough.
Maybe around here. But then you see my group on the lower left corner is weak. And the left side is weak.
Right.
The upper side still has some weakness on H17. And you will see later, Black plays on R18. And then my upper right corner is also kind of weak.
Wow. Yeah, you don't want to have that many weak groups.
Yeah, that was really bad. So I was expecting that, but Black played here.
Okay.
And that.
Oh, that knight's move is interesting.
Why?
I mean, I don't typically see that at my level. I would expect something more like G4 push or D3 in the corner.
I see.
Although I guess that G4 is kind of like a bad cue habit, right? That like there's a lot of this like extra pushing further.
Right.
Or even just dive in at F3 and do the cut.
Right. I think Black was kind of trying to build something very strong on like, fifth line or fourth line around here. And then maybe attack the left side. I wonder.
See. But if you get another move in the lower left corner like C2, I mean, I guess maybe not now.
Oh, as white?
It seemed like the black group becomes floating, and that H5 doesn't secure any points.
Actually, Black doesn't need to worry about the lower left group at the moment.
Okay.
Because white is not very strong.
It's because white is weak on both sides, and so black being weak doesn't matter too much because he has a lot of flexibility. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
So black comes here, and I'm kind of worried about the left side. And also, lower side, I do need to continue. So I push here. And then my thought was that if black comes around here, I would attach this one. And then maybe like this.
Whoa. Okay.
So I thought I would live in here, and then my stone on d6 should help the left side somewhat. That was the thought. And black responded like this to prevent my c3 attachment.
Okay.
And at this point, my stone on e3 is not very important. It's
Okay.
big, but it's not as big as some of the other points. So I tenuki and then come here.
Okay.
And then black comes in.
Yes. Okay.
And I attach.
Okay.
So later on, what black could do is to hane here. Black didn't do it right away. Something black can do later is to cut here. And then white can play something like this, live in the corner.
Wow.
And then black lives. I guess what happens is that white's 4 stones in the center, it doesn't have any base.
Right.
But then if white does live, black's not gaining much.
Right.
So black also needs to think about the timing of doing this.
Let's see. Because if you manage to scoop out black's upper left there, that's black's big points right now, or big potential, right? Is like D18,
Yes.
lock down
Right.
that. Okay.
So at this point, black pushes.
Okay.
And I exchange it this pip. And I think I made a big mistake here.
Of tanuking away from those 3 stones.
I think now I think about it, I think I should have played it here.
Ooh, okay. I, as a Q player, would do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe, yeah, I don't know if I should tenuki. I probably shouldn't tenuki. I could also play here to capture the black h17 and make my upper side stronger. And black could maybe come around here. And then I'll have to live in the corner. Then yeah, black's kind of growing really big in the right side.
Wow, yeah.
So maybe p14 was better. Let's see. Anyway, what I played was here. I invaded
okay.
the other side.
Okay.
I'm still feeling like I'm behind, you
Okay.
know. Maybe I felt too much about not having the komi part. So I was like, I need to do more.
Okay.
And then it was definitely overplay.
Wow.
Looking back.
Okay.
Because my corner almost died. So actually...
Sorry, going back a second there.
Yes.
What happens if black hanes on Q10?
Oh, but before going there, I want to explain something. So imagine the white corner is like just a normal situation, the upper right corner, and then the white group is not weak. The black's usual response here is to play here. Have you seen this shape before?
No.
And then like
Wow.
usually what happens is something like this, and that's what I hoped for actually, because that would give me nice eye space for the upper right corner. But of course this is too good to be true. So my invasion was definitely overplay. And let's see, you were wondering what happens
Yeah,
here?
just imagine black plays super aggressively against that and tries to seal you in and kill you. How do you not...
Yes.
I'm just going to play some bad moves here.
Okay.
Oh, I see. You Atari and come out. Is that it?
So I think there are two options.
Okay.
The first one is to play here and that.
I'm looking.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just seeing this giant fight about to happen.
Yes. Connect.
Okay. And is it black? Doesn't black loses the capturing race here?
I think so.
So 3 liberties and this thing here. Just hypothetically.
Connect.
1, 2. Okay. So black has no way of winning that capturing race. Okay. Okay. That's just my curiosity because this extension move looks.
Yes.
At my level, players are more like aggressive. They're not going to sort of peacefully extend like that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
So let's see if this other card on Q11 didn't work, then white will have to go out this way. And then if black comes something like this, that looks very complicated. Let's see. The leather is good for black. I'm talking about this leather. And this one is not working for white at the moment.
Right, okay.
So that means black also, white can't play this one because black can play this one and push here. Then white dies. So that means white kind of needs to block here, but then when black connects... oops, sorry.
Okay. So, I mean, in order to play that R8 invasion, you have to see stuff like this before, right? Like, if that stone is just going to die, then it's a loss to put it there.
Of course, right? Then it can be the game over.
Okay, so you trusted that you'd be able to...
Right.
You know these sequences to get that stone to safety somehow.
So in my case, I didn't even think about Black Hane, honestly.
Okay.
Maybe I should have, but that's like my blind spot.
Okay.
I don't imagine my opponent Hane when that gives me a tiger mouse.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
But that was a good question.
Yeah. Although that also comes up as one of the common exceptions to the Hane at the head of 2 stones, except when you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And one of the except when you shouldn't exceptions is when there's that tiger mouth formation.
That's right, yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, so black lets me go out, but then comes here in the shoulder hit.
Oh boy.
And that's practically like locking me in, because even if I try to come out like this, black could still block with a knight move, and there is no other way to go out.
Yeah, I'm very worried about those 3 stones now.
Yes. So at first, I think I should have been more worried. At first, I wasn't too worried. I thought, it should live somehow.
I was about to ask, what about the S16 peep?
Right.
Okay.
So I was thinking, well, black would play here, and then I would play here, and it looks weak, but then maybe something will happen. But then it's actually a really bad situation, because maybe I'll have to start cool.
Ooh, yeah.
Because by just connecting, it's not alive.
Yeah.
So again, the R8 was an overplay. I shouldn't have done that.
Okay.
And black plays here, which is an even stronger move. If I connected, black would attach. And I don't know where it can go. It could be dead.
That S16 peep is a good move to know. Like in Q games all the time, you'll see that. that corner formation with that little PP gap, and then
Yes.
that attach where you can threaten the diagonal at R15, and then you make the little tiger's mouth at S14, and it can be very annoying to your opponent.
Yes. Yeah, so I play here.
Wow.
And when we reviewed the game after with my opponent, he said he regretted this one first. His first regret was that he didn't cut here when I played this one. And I think that's fair, because if black cut here, then I will have to come out. And then maybe black can cut here off, and I would try to go out. But this is like,
Wow.
I might leave, but it's not very good. I'm not sure if this is the best result black can get. Maybe there's even better one. But even this one, I would need another move around here, either this one or that. And then black can like continue. I would say that's pretty good result for black already.
Okay.
And maybe there is even more black can do. But anyway, in the actual game, black played here.
Nope, give it a second to
Oh, okay.
catch up.
Am I clicking too fast?
Let's just play the move there. Okay.
Yes. But actually, my biggest fear was not black cutting on S17. It was something else. I'll show you.
Okay.
So by having this P18 exchange, I can get the black stone. Like this.
Okay. Just that it's a sort of liberty gaining trick.
Yeah, isn't that
Tsugi.
interesting? Even though black has 2 liberties and white also seems to have 2 liberties, but black cannot capture this one stone.
Yeah, this comes up a lot in Go problems. I've seen stuff like this.
Right.
A lot.
So I thought one thing black could try here was to play this one. Like this. So after this one, I don't have any eye in the corner. So I have to live outside. We already discussed that I can't really go further after this one. So that means I kind of need to live inside. But if I do this, then black can do that. Or maybe this one. But then if black comes here, I still can't hane. But maybe I can try something like this.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it looks very thin. Anyway, I was a little concerned about this one, and also there was another move that black could do. So there were several points where I could have lost this game.
You could have lost the game. Okay.
So black plays here, which is good, and then plays here and that. And right here, I think if black played here, I could have died.
Wow.
So
You mean assuming you can't get out somehow through that P14?
So I
gap.
go out, and then black plays here. No, I don't see how I can get out. Because coming over here is not sente against the black T14. You see this is still connected.
Wow.
But in the actual game, I got lucky because black didn't play T14 directly. Instead, black played here first, and that made a big difference. Because after this one, if black plays here, now this R13 is a kind of sente, right? And when I come out, it creates kind of different shape, because when black plays here, now I can attach. And if black comes out this way, then I can go out like that.
Wow. Cool.
Or if black plays here, then I can connect this one and jump out like this. And black cannot cut anymore.
Because you... Oh, double Atari there. Okay.
Yep, double Atari.
Wow. Okay. You go back to that that shape there. Oh, well.
Yes, here.
Just a few... I'm just trying to make sure I can visualize the... okay, I see it now.
Okay.
Being able to know that that's a double Atari.
Yes.
Wow.
So because of that, after this one, black just jumped here and then I lived. So, because I lived, the game was not over, but then it doesn't mean I'm ahead.
Right.
I mean, I just didn't die, but black is still very strong, and then my group on the right side is still weak. So black pips here, usually I do need to connect, but then I was wondering if black was thinking something really aggressive. I'm not sure if that works. Let's see. This would be risky for black as well. But then, if black manages to win this capturing race, then the game can be over. But this capturing race, it actually looks okay for white. So maybe black wouldn't have done this.
Okay.
But anyway, I was like, I can't be connecting here. It's too slow. So instead of connecting, I pipped here. And of course, if black connected here, I would connect. Because this pipping exchange is good for me.
Yes.
But black pushes here, and then I tenuki. Because my exchange on p6 kind of helps me avoid ladder. Okay.
Helps you avoid a ladder. What
Yes.
ladder?
So this is the ladder I'm talking about. Black cuts here.
Okay.
And I have to connect on q2, otherwise
Right.
a corner dies.
Right.
And then black plays here.
Okay.
This ladder.
Okay.
Yeah, this ladder is good for black at the moment.
Okay. So that, go back to so that peep has more to do with the fact that you tenukied away from p4.
So what happened was that now when black cuts here, instead of just connecting, I can push here first. And then if black cuts here, then I can Atari. And then cut here and then take this one.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that would be very nice.
Yeah.
Didn't happen like this. If I didn't have the peeping here, the main difference is that if I push here, then black would hane. And I still have to either connect on Q2 or capture on N2, right? And then the corner would die. That would be bad. So, so that's why this pip is important.
Okay.
At this point, if black harness, then I can cut.
Yeah.
So black plays here, and I connect. And black jumps out, and I respond. I did protect my territory on the lower side.
Nice.
So that was cool. But of course, the problem is that as black connects to the left side, my group from the right side is like really floating without any base.
Yeah, but you have Sente.
Right,
and
yes.
that black's cut at 02 didn't seem to accomplish very much.
Right. So right now I'm thinking maybe I am doing okay in point, but then I'm not like particularly ahead because even though my lower side territory is okay, it's like not too big. And my biggest concern is that the right side group is so weak and black is strong.
I see. Yeah.
But then if I am like investing too many moves in the center without gaining much, then black will be doing things like, cutting this stone and also maybe taking this
D18.
corner.
Yeah.
And eventually I wouldn't have enough territory,
Okay.
especially when I don't have komi.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, I can't, be safe. I mean, play safe. So I played here. My idea was that this is big as it is, and also it can kind of help my left side group because that exposes some of the black's weakness in the shape. So when I connect it here, white connects this one. I wonder if black thought this was sente.
Yeah, I was about to ask, is that sente?
In conclusion, it wasn't because I tenukid. So when black played here, I exchanged this one. And then black can't really block this one. Black doesn't want to block this one because I can cut like this.
Yeah, and then black's corner looks sad.
Yes.
Okay.
So black extends. And then I was debating between, so I was already determined to tenuki from the lower side.
Okay.
I was thinking about maybe 3 different directional choices and 2 like particular choice in one direction.
Okay.
So the 3 directional choices was, the first one was to play for the right side somewhere around here.
Okay.
Which is like maybe most obvious one. But then it's also a little slow because it's not taking any big points.
Right.
And the second option was to play somewhere for the left side. Let's say something like this. When my left side gets a little safer, that can also indirectly help the right side. And this one does have some points, so it could be better than K10. But then I thought the biggest place was the upper side.
Right. D18 is huge.
Right. So for playing on upper side, I was thinking about 2 options. The first one was to play here, which could help my right side somewhat because it's like safely capturing the black stone, like removing all the aji that black has. But on the other hand, like black would kick here and then take the corner. So I was secretly hoping that I could play here, and then when black responds, I would do this. That's like my idea.
Okay, that's your dream.
Version.
Okay.
Yeah, but of course black doesn't respond on C17. But in any case, D18 is a big place.
Right. And so this is where your skill as a former pro is coming in. You're deliberately leaving 2 weak groups on the board to take a big place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, but I feel like that's a necessary bet.
Right. Given that you don't have komi, you're feeling behind, so you make that risky choice.
Right, yes.
And just count on your skill at handling those 2 weak groups to carry you through. Okay.
Yes, I'm hoping.
Okay.
So black comes around here. It's, since I tenukid, black can gain this much. And at this point, I can't connect here because if I do, black can simply just push here. Maybe black can even block on L2 and extend on M2, but this is like even simpler. At this point, I have to connect the 2 stones, but then black can play like this and I cannot connect.
You're short on liberties there. Okay.
Right. So I can't connect, and therefore I descend. And if black takes, then I can block.
Yeah.
But black shouldn't exchange this one right away. That would be a big mistake, because without the exchange, black can get this one in center if necessary. And that can make a difference when black attacks the white group in the center.
I'm not sorry. That's sente because
it's because black can cut here, and then because of this M5, white now needs to play from this side.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise,
Right. Sorry.
black can Atari, right?
Go back. So M5.
Mm-hmm.
And keep playing that sequence. Okay. And take. Ah. Okay. I see. Okay. Wow.
So basically, without M5, black cannot play here because I connect.
Okay.
So imagine this
Okay.
shape,
Yeah.
and then imagine there's a black stone here. Do you
Yeah.
see that black can cut on L3?
I have to think about it in detail. Okay, I see. Yeah, like this is something I'm working on at my levels, knowing when those little pokes are sente. Because sometimes they just cost you 1 or 2 stones, and you don't want to respond because there's bigger stuff elsewhere. But
Right?
this is the like catastrophic.
Yeah.
If you tanuki, it's a catastrophe. So
Yes.
okay, makes sense.
Yeah, that would be like
Game over. Yes.
very painful.
Yeah. Well, if you're a single-digit queue and you're playing against a double-digit queue, you can do stuff like that.
Okay, so that's why black shouldn't play on H4 right now. But
Okay.
in the end game, if everything else is already decided, then black should take it. Anyway, so at this point now black does want to attack my group from the right side. And black starts from here. And I'm like, oh, I'm so weak everywhere. What am I going to do? But anyway, I push here and black jumps.
Sorry, why don't you respond the other way at C8?
Just to make the black peeping a little heavier. So let's say black extend and then I connect. So the difference is that compared to just playing here, the black stone on D8 is a little bit heavier, but with the exchange of D9 and then E8.
Okay. And then go back. So you block that way, and it it doesn't work for black to go to C8 at that point.
Oh, instead
I mean,
of jump.
Yeah. Pardon my Q level here. This is the type of stuff that happens in my games where they're super aggressive. They're like, "Oh, you didn't live? I'm gonna kill you now."
You know what? I think it might work. So I would do this, and then black would exchange this, which would force me to connect, and black harness, and I'll have to cut, and black attaches here. So actually, I might need to
You just give
up.
those up. Okay.
But then, while I am giving this up, I will be almost connected toward the center. And that would probably force black to take the corner.
Okay.
And we will have to see if the black's gain on the left side was enough.
Now, question: did you read this out when you
I didn't.
responded? Okay. So when you responded at D9,
Yes, I was not expecting...
you didn't even think black would
Right.
would
So
do that.
the reason was that I knew black was playing around the left side only to attack the right group. So
Okay.
that's why I didn't think...
Wow.
I did.
So I mean,
Yes.
if you're playing a Q player online
Yes.
and they go C8,
Right?
do you go uh-oh, like?
Wait, so
Right.
there's another possible response for me is to descend like this. And I don't think black can follow this way. Because now black's kind of in trouble.
That looks stuck. Okay.
So if black needs to come back, then I connect.
Okay.
So maybe this is not too bad.
Okay. So I'm just admiring
Yes.
your snapped judgments. at
My trust in my opponent.
Well, no, it's not that you trusted your opponent. It's more that you intuitively knew that C8 doesn't work that well, and so you weren't worried about it.
But I think maybe I should have.
Oh, okay.
But that was a good question.
Okay.
But at this moment, I was kind of little more focused on the center area.
Okay.
So here black jumps. And this is another signal that black's actually thinking about the center. Because if you imagine white connecting, the jump leaves the E8, which can really help white leave. So black's just trying to gain these moves in center.
Right, okay.
So before I connect, I peep here, which can be really harmful for my left side group. But I'm doing this so that I can send it. And what the E7 is doing is that I'm looking at the weak point from G5. So let's say black plays somewhere else. And then later there is this weak point I can cut.
Yeah, push and cut. Okay.
And this cut doesn't work without the black stone on E7.
Got it. Yeah.
So after this, black blocks here. And now black's getting really thick. I have to leave. I don't have any eye at this point. And black doesn't seem to have any weak point. So I'm very worried.
Yeah, okay.
And here I start with this one. This was like a probing move. I was hoping to gain some eye shape here.
So is this sabaki?
Kind of.
I see. So
yes.
you're just throwing some stones around
Yes.
lightly with the goal of making your group live somehow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I thought black's most likely respond here was to Hane on this side. And my plan was to exchange this one and Hane here. Then black can exchange this one to make sure that I don't get a free eye here. And then maybe extend or something. After this, I did get something around M9,
Yes.
But it's still not alive and I'm still worried.
I see. You have an eye socket. So question, it looks like you could either start this sabaki attachment stuff or you have two directions where that M10 stone could jump like up or to the left.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to take the attachments first rather than jumping the stone out more into the center?
Right. So that's because I felt like I couldn't go very far. So my jumping toward M12 is not really threatening the black group because black group is really strong. And as black's kind of chasing me from the right side, when black gets stones around, like L14 and like J13, black's going to get some like aji around J18.
Ah, okay.
So as black gets more stones around the center, there will be more possibility of black doing something crazy here. I don't know, maybe like trying to kill everything on this side.
Right, okay.
So if possible, I want to live without like letting black take around the center.
Right. So it's like whatever you do, there's going to be collateral damage.
Yeah.
As that group struggles to live, you're going to pay a price. And
right
now you lose less by starting this attachment sequence than you do by jumping and getting poked at. Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe I should mention that black was in Byoyomi at this point.
Ah, nice. Okay, nice. Now your
Yes.
reading time warp happens.
Right? Yes. So here, black plays here instead, which is Sente.
As we discussed before, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And I play here before I come back to the lower side. Because if black takes the left side, then there is something else I can get. Instead of losing the left side, I can get the right side, which is much bigger.
Ah, right. Yeah, that whole black formation dies.
Yes.
I see.
So
and that's worth giving up the lower left.
Black would need to respond, and then I can respond here. So that was the idea. And then black responded this way. And then I connected here. And then black connected here. And then I connected that. So now my lower side territory is complete. And there are no more black center moves. And I did get N7 and the O7, which helps me a little bit in the I shape. And here black, I think maybe black should have continued attacking my group. I'm not sure how, maybe around here. That would have been more challenging to me. In the actual game, black made some mistakes attacking my left side. I think black was trying to get even more center moves before really trying to maybe kill the group on the right side.
Or maybe it's a time Suji.
Yeah,
like he needs thinking time, so he does forcing moves. Okay.
Yes. So black's mistake was that black exchanged this on b5, which kind of let me cut the corner off.
Whoa.
And then the corner is alive, of course. Black could even live with this one. I think black played on c2 just to prevent the possibility of one step late ko. Are you familiar with that?
The carpenter square. Right. Yes.
So there is a way for white to start like one step late ko.
Right.
Something like this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know that if there's a carpenter square on the board and you don't play in that 2-2 point,
yes,
stuff can happen.
Yeah, that's your understanding.
That's my understanding. That at some point in the end game, you want to play that b2 stone.
Yes.
Okay.
So the problem of black being caught was not the corner because it's alive, but it was that I got this one. And black had to connect this way. And now you see, as my head is like kind of out, it now suddenly threatens the black's whole group on the fifth line from the right side.
Right.
Even like this connection is sent there later if necessary.
Ah, I see.
So this whole group can become suddenly a little weak.
Wow.
And that kind of prevents black from really attacking my group.
Wow. Okay.
But right now I have to still save the left side. So I do this and then I jump out. And now black's trying to split this one.
Sorry, hang on a second. If you couldn't jump out at F10, can you... Is there a move that makes that group live? Or is it just...
The white cannot live on the left side.
Okay, so when you said save the left side, you mean you have to get it out.
Right, run away.
You don't have two eyes in there. Okay.
Right. I have one eye.
Right, okay.
I have to make another eye outside.
Okay. Sorry, excuse my cue.
Okay.
Cue here. Oh, is it the shortage of liberty? Oops, am I playing this right?
Are you making sure the white has one eye?
Yeah.
So white can make one eye like this.
Ah, okay.
But the better way of making one eye would be to play here.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
So yeah, it's already one eye.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Okay, so black tries to split. And now I play here. I'm kind of threatening this left side black group.
Sorry, I love that. I love that H7 move.
Yes.
Because I'm just thinking you push at G6.
I see.
Like obviously, that's how you come out.
Yeah, you would.
But then he plays H something, right? Like
yeah,
he can
something around here. Yes.
He contains that damage, sort of. Wow, I love that H7 move.
Right, so the idea is that if black comes out around here, I would kind of surround the black.
Wait. Well, hang on. Sorry. I mean, the obvious thing you need to think about is this, right?
Oh, I wouldn't necessarily cut here. I can do something like this.
Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, that's so cool. I love it.
Because I'm not trying to capture black group, right? I'm just trying to live everywhere.
Right. That's beautiful torture against that black group. Okay.
And then black might continue like cutting me off. And then I was actually considering a possibility of doing this.
Ah, okay. And now do you assume that white group in the center right is dead now, and you count?
So yeah, I wasn't too sure about it. So there were a few things going on in my head. First, is it big enough if my group on the right side dies? So I get this one in center, and then I get also to play maybe around here, either this one or that one. So that was the first thought. I wasn't too sure.
Yeah, this is a great counting challenge, by the way. Like,
so you want to do it?
If I was watching it, I could pause the video. No, you don't have to do it now. I'm just saying,
Okay.
in long time limit games, it's great to do this sort of analysis, because if you figure out that you're many points ahead by doing this, you can sort of conclude the game.
That's right. Yes. So that was the first thought. I was going to figure it out.
And you had plenty of time to figure it out.
I had some time, yes.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing it.
And the second thought was that I could actually try to live still, something like this.
Okay. So you use up all the forcing Sabaki type moves and make 2 eyes.
Right. So it wasn't clear if I could live, but then maybe I can try.
Right. But you also have to count then, right? Because you have to assume that you're going to live with very few points in Gote, and black's going to get very strong on the outside. Right?
Then it would be okay. But I think the bigger risk would be that I try to live and then it still dies. And then that could have added some damage, me trying.
Yeah.
So anyway, that would have been an interesting game.
Okay.
But black tries to first save this group, and then suddenly changes his mind. And at this point, if I played here, black would Atari this one, and then I don't know, maybe play here. And I can't cut this one because black can cut here, and my 5 stones are dead. Do you see it?
Yeah, it looks bad for those white stones.
Right.
Okay.
So I will have to do something like this, and then black connects. And I still need to somehow live on the right side and the left side. But then black's group is also not alive. So would have been a little complicated. In the actual game, I chose to come out here first, which I thought was better. Because like this, I can maybe capture the left side.
Wow. Okay.
But then at this point, suddenly black tries to save this group, which was a big mistake. And I get this center, and then I push. If black connects, then I get this one.
Wow.
And black was like trying to save everything, so exchanges this and then connect. But with that, I could get this 1 stone, and then I also lived in here. So this is center because there's a net on M12. Black has to block this one, and I play here. Then it's Miai. Black has to either play here, but then I play here, which is 1 eye on the side. 1 eye in the center on M8, and another eye on like S9. So this is alive, or this is also alive.
Okay, cool.
So as soon as I played here, this white group was alive.
Wait, sorry, one sec. Could we just go and again, excuse my poor life and death. What was the other variation you showed?
Where?
When there's white has S8.
So white needs to leave like this. And then...
And what's the response to that? Ooh.
Have you seen this connection?
Ooh, I had no idea that's what happened.
White is connected now.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that is so cool. Because I was thinking, I was saying like Q9, black can put a stone in. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess I'd see that if I, as I get stronger at Go problems, right? Like that's.
Yeah. So at this point, when white blocks, white either playing T8 or Q8 are both sente, but only one of them is sente, of course. So this one, you see there is Atari on R7.
Nice.
So if you imagine this shape, now you clearly see that there's one eye.
Yes. Yeah, very cool. That goes all the way back to that R8 invasion way in the opening, and then the R8 S7 exchange, which, as I understand it, nowadays players tend, when they do that Joseki in the lower right, they tend to do a solid connection and make the triangle with R6 instead, Q6 instead of
Q7.
Q7 because of all the aji of that shape there.
Yeah, there is some aji.
Cool.
Anyway, so in the actual game, black chose this one, but the 5 stones were dead, and this is bigger than white 4 stones. So black resigned. This was too good for white.
Very cool.
So I kind of got lucky in the middle, but then it all started happening only after black was in BOB. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
That was an interesting game.
Wow. Amazing.
So this was my 4th Go tournament since I moved to the US. And so far I won all my games in 4 tournaments.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to being at the US Go Congress.
Yes.
This summer. Where I think the competition will be a little stiffer as well.
Oh, actually, I'm not sure if I'll be playing at the Go Congress.
Okay.
I mean, I'm certainly planning to go, but I
Okay.
haven't decided whether I want to be a player or not.
Okay.
Do you think I should?
Totally up to you.
Okay.
I'll be playing.
Yeah, I know you'll be playing.
Which is hilarious because I don't know if this is a coincidence or what, but in 2 out of the 3 games in the tournament, everyone played that Joseki that I messed up in our Parago game that Nick Sabicki talked about. So
Yes.
I'm wondering if I have like a reputation now. Dan doesn't know this Joseki, so you'd better play that one.
I think that's coincidence.
It's really? This rare Joseki happened in 2 games? Oh, okay.
But that's
we'll see.
really funny.
We'll see.
Really? Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. That happened yesterday.
Wow.
So now Dan doesn't know very much about the Carpenter's Square. So if you're paired with me at US Go Congress, play Carpenter's Squares.
Oh, why are you advertising your weakness? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that was it for this time. It was a little longer than usual. So
I learned a lot. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, that's it for today, and we'll see you next time with another game to review. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.